Hey, it's Mr. Gawronski, and I'm going to be your choir director / vocal coach for today's lesson. Now, the whole point of today's lesson is we want to make you more comfortable with singing by yourself online. Now, maybe you're used to singing in your choir at school or in your church, and you're used to singing with a whole bunch of people, and now you might be rehearsing online. Maybe you're in a Zoom meeting or some Google Meet or some other platform, and it feels a little awkward to sing by yourself, and maybe you're a little uncomfortable just hearing just your voice by yourself. Well, today we're going to go over 3 tips that will hopefully alleviate those fears and make you more comfortable. Speaking of making you more comfortable, that is our very first tip, which is to make yourself comfortable. And you might be saying, well, I'm going to make myself more comfortable by making myself more comfortable. Well, let's be specific. Okay, if our goal is for you to hear your voice and for you to project your voice, you want to be in a place where you are comfortable, right? So, Mom, yeah, I'm in the middle of recording a video, Mom. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, okay, great. I'm kidding. I don't live with my mom. I'm married with 2 kids, and this is I'm talking to you from my garage, actually, by myself. But the only reason I did that was maybe you are close by to parents or relatives, and you feel like they're listening to you. I know I took private piano lessons for years, and I always felt like my parents were listening to me because the piano was loud and it was in the room next to where they were, and I couldn't really just wheel the piano, into another room. But what you can do is maybe you want to close the door in your room, or maybe you can go into your basement, or in a place where you're less likely to be heard, where you feel more comfortable by yourself. And another tip that might help you is you want to put on some headphones. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is all in the effort of making you more comfortable. And one thing you might want to do is if you have headphones like this, over-the-ear headphones work really great, but if you just have those Apple headphones, that'll help as well. And again, the goal is so that you can hear me, hear the music, hear the warm-ups that we're going to do, and feel comfortable and feel like you're listening to yourself. If you want, you could be all Mariah Carey and or name your favorite vocalist, and you could have one headphone on, one headphone off, so that you can hear yourself but still hear the music. But our goal is for you to be comfortable. Now, when I say make yourself comfortable, the last thing I want to say about this point is you don't want to be too comfortable. You don't want to lay down on your bed or on your couch. In fact, you can stand up right now, or you can sit up nice and tall in a chair. But again, be comfortable, listen to yourself, and let's dive into our very first warm-up, which is we're just going to stretch right now. So what I want you to do is you're just going to gently bite down so that you can feel your jaw muscles back here. And they're towards the back of your jaw here. And if you bite down, you can kind of feel them pop out. So if you gently clench your teeth, we're just going to massage those muscles for a little bit. Again, while we're biting down with our teeth slightly clenched. And now we're going to stay there, but open up our jaw, relax. Just massage that. Good, and we're going to move to our temples, same motion. This is actually a popular stretch that they do, I believe, in Japanese schools in the morning, just to kind of get the blood moving, right? Wipe our forehead, right? And we could switch to our neck. Oh man, if you happen to have cold hands right now, this feels really great. And what are we doing? We're just making ourselves comfortable, relaxed, and switch hands. Just relaxing, rubbing our neck. You could even work down to your shoulders if you want to. And last thing, we're just going to kind of gently poke around over here, loosen this up. Again, relax while you do this, almost like kneading dough. We're just loosening up the tissue around our vocal cords, our neck. All right. So hopefully we are stretched and relaxed right now, and we're going to go into our very first warm-up, which is just going to be a basic lip trill. Now, if you've never done lip trills before, or if you can't do lip trills, what you want to do is, if you can't do the lip trill, you're going to hum. But if you can do a lip trill, or if you're wondering what that is, you're just going to go, but we're going to sing while we do that lip trill. Ready, and... relaxed. 3 more. Last one, here we go, and very nice. All right, now next we're gonna jump into a video. It's actually going to be a warm-up video. You're gonna hear my voice, and everything is self-explanatory, but again, relax your jaw, comfortable, sitting up nice and tall, or standing up nice and tall, headphones on. Feel free to really sing out as you follow these warm-ups. All right, we're gonna focus on vocal articulation for these next few warm-ups. Staccato versus legato. This first one's gonna be a legato phrase, which means smooth and connected, starting on a ma vowel. Take a breath, still on ma. Let's change the vowel to mo. Really connect those notes of every phrase. Mo again. Let's switch to me. Fight to keep your jaw dropped, mouth open, tongue down. Let's switch to me. Me again. Let's switch to mo. The more connected those notes are, the better. Mo again. Let's switch back to ma. And one more, switch to me. This next one is going to be staccato, which means short and detached, starting on a va. Va again. Remember to keep it staccato, short and detached. Vo. Vo again. Let's switch to V. V again. You should feel your abdominals pulsing a little bit with every note. Change to VU. Great job with those warm-ups. Now hopefully you were able to relax a little bit more and warm up your voice, so we're ready to move on. But let's recap. First, the first tip was you want to make yourself comfortable. Within reason, right? You want to be sprawled out on your bed or your couch. You want to be sitting up nice and tall or standing up nice and tall, but you're relaxed, you're comfortable, right? Hopefully you have some headphones in by now and you're able to listen to your voice a little bit more closely. But let's go into that second tip. And our second tip is you want to be critical but positive. Now, this is an important distinction, and to prove this, just to bring up one of my favorite sports happens to be basketball, and one of my favorite basketball players of all time happens to be the late, great Kobe Bryant. Now, something that a lot of people don't know about Kobe Bryant is after a game, now a game where he might have went up for 30, 40, 50, 60 points in a game, he would then go after the game and he would still practice his shot. When the gym was empty, Kobe Bryant, one of the best basketball players of all time, would go into the gym and still put up shots. And you have to think, why would he do that? Because Kobe Bryant was critical. Now, even though he was critical of himself, he was still positive. He had a positive mindset, knowing that, you know what, I can do this. And I want to encourage you to have that same mindset, right? You want to be critical, to push yourself to improve, but also do this in a positive way. So many of my students over the years have always been critical. They could say, oh, that person doesn't sound good, or I don't like the way I sound, but there's this negative tinge to their criticism. And we see this, unfortunately, all over popular TV shows, whether it's America's Got Talent, American Idol. Everyone is critiquing everyone's voice and doing it in a negative way. Well, what we want to do is we want to be critical of our own voice, but we want to do it in a positive way. And one of the best, most common ways to positively impact your voice is actually simply to open up your mouth and be mindful of the volume that you're singing at. I've seen so many students singing online, and this is what they look like. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. And if you notice, it's almost like I'm trying to be a ventriloquist, right? My mouth is closed. There's tension in my jaw. Those are things we want to avoid. So what I want, so one of the things that we're going to do that will hopefully improve that is one, just to know you want to drop your jaw. If you're looking at yourself in, maybe if you're watching this in a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet, or if you have a camera on your phone or whatever, or a mirror, even as simple as a mirror, you can look in that mirror or that camera or that video and see, am I really dropping my jaw as I'm singing? We're going to do an exercise called 70-second solfege, and it's a sight singing exercise. But what I want to challenge yourself, what I want to challenge you with is I want you to be critical, and specifically critical of dropping your jaw and projecting your voice. So we're going to try and do two things. One, you're going to follow this video and sing along to this sight singing video. The tricky thing is the tempo is going to speed up, right? So as the tempo speeds up, still drop your jaw, sing out. Now, if possible, if you happen to be on a computer, and if you're watching this from a Google form or on YouTube, I'm going to include a link to this decibel meter. Now, if you don't know what a decibel meter is, a decibel meter essentially measures the volume of the sound. So when you click on that link, it should look like this. Now you don't have to download anything. All you have to do is click Start Metering. And you might have to click Allow to allow your computer to give permission to the microphone. Now, you can clearly see as I'm talking that it's picking up the level of my voice. And if I stop talking, quiet office, and I happen to be in a quiet office, right? So this is a great way to monitor how loud you are actually singing. And if you notice right now, I'm talking between 75 and 85 decibels. Now, hopefully, as I sing, I should probably more consistently be getting up into the 90 decibel range. Now, this is going to change for you. It all depends on your microphone. Are you using headphones? There's so many factors. So again, I would encourage you to use headphones. Open up the decibel meter and follow the 70-second solfege sight singing as you sing, as you put all this together. Okay, so give it a shot. Be critical but positive. Go for it. All right, for example 2, we want to take a closer look at the key signature here, and we notice we have a sharp. That means we could use the rule the last sharp is T, which means Do is all the way up here, and if you walk it down, that means we start on Do. So we're starting on Do. We also want to take notice of the fact that we do have some longer notes. Make sure you hold those out. And also pay attention to these changes in direction, especially in this measure over here. We're going to silently go over this from the top while tapping the tempo. Remember, we start on Do. Time begins now. Make sure you're going over this whole example at least twice. Make sure you even hold out those notes even in your mind as you're reviewing it. Don't skip, still follow the tempo. time is up. We're going to start on do, right? Starting on do, deep breath, and hold it out. 2, 3, and let's repeat it from the top. And really drop your jaw on these high notes. Right, we're going to speed up the tempo here. We're going to sing the same thing, repeat it once. Here we go, starting on do, and always try and look ahead. Last time, even faster. Great job. Now, hopefully you were able to make it all the way through that 70-second solfege example. Now, let's continue with this theme of being critical but positive. Another thing that we can be critical of with our voice is our intonation, meaning how sharp or flat are we on a given pitch. Now, to help us further understand this a little bit better, we're going to watch a video from 3 Minute Theory, which is an interactive music theory program. So take a look at this video and then we'll recap. Go for it. Tuning. Sharp versus flat. Maybe you've heard someone describe a performance as out of tune. Oh, that performer is out of tune. Or maybe even a vocalist, and they've said, oh, that vocalist sounds a little pitchy, to describe that their pitch is slightly off. But what does that really mean? Well, to help us understand tuning, let's first recap what a sharp and flat does to a note. So first, a sharp raises a note by a half step, and a flat does the opposite. A flat lowers a note by a half step. Now, if we understand what a sharp and flat does to a note, this will help us describe what we're actually hearing. For example, this note sounds like this. This is a G that is relatively in tune. Now, if we were to change the pitch of this note and actually make it a little sharp, it might sound like this. And you can hear that the note went slightly higher. But what are we really talking about? Whenever a note is going sharp, it's actually going from the original note up a half step. But usually when people say someone is a little sharp, they're not exactly all the way up to the half step. They might be in between these two notes, and that's what we hear here. Listen again. It's not exactly all the way up this half step, but it's just a little sharp. Now, the same rule goes for when we're talking about notes that are flat. Again, here is the difference in a half step from G to G flat. But if they were just a little flat, let's say half the distance from G to G flat, it might sound like this. Listen again. Let's listen to an example. Here is the original note. Now I want you to tell me if this next note is sharp or flat. Here's the original note again. And here is the altered note. Listen again. Here's the original note. And here is the altered note. Now, hopefully you can tell that was a tricky one. That was slightly sharp. The note was slightly higher. Listen to it change. And let's try one more. Listen to this note. That is the original note. Now listen. Here's the original note. Here's the altered note. And hopefully you can hear that it is slightly flat. You can hear that that note is going down a little bit. And a good way to understand this is actually to hum the original note or to audiate it. If you audiate these pitches in your head, odds are it's going to help you hear the difference in pitch, to hear if it's going sharp or flat. All right, now that we have a better idea of what it means to be sharp or flat, let's apply this to our singing. Now, when it comes to singing, believe it or not, one of the best things you can do that will help improve your intonation, especially when you're singing by yourself, is to focus on dropping your jaw. Not only dropping your jaw, but also listen to yourself. So if you happen to have that pair of headphones with you, we're going to sing one more vocal exercise, and I want to encourage you to, if you are using headphones, to have one headphone in, one headphone off, or if you're comfortable enough, you can just listen through the speakers of whatever device you're listening to. But don't forget to still project. If you want to pull up that Decibel Meter app and still challenge yourself to project your voice, that's a great thing to do. We're going to drop our jaw, be mindful of that intonation. But that brings us to our last point, right? We talked about making ourselves comfortable. We talked about being critical but positive, and this is probably the most important tip to hopefully make yourself more comfortable and relaxed singing by yourself, and that is to enjoy your sound. This is a tough thing, and you know what, vocalists, including myself, it took me years for me to get comfortable listening to my own voice because I was too critical. And that's probably, again, one of the number one issues with younger vocalists is they're overly critical with their voice. So we want to get to our point where maybe we can even enjoy the way that we sound. So we're going to go to our final exercise here. And I want to, again, encourage you to relax your jaw. Be mindful of your intonation. I know we got a lot of things going on, but you can do this. Let's be positive in our approach here. All right, so we're going to sing this nice, I guess you can call this an elegant warm-up or exercise. And as we sing this, I want you to focus on dropping your jaw, relaxing your tongue as well. You don't want any tension there, so relax your tongue, drop your jaw, and let's listen to this exercise. This is how it goes. It goes like this. And really try and enjoy this beautiful melody, right? Let's try that. So sitting up nice and tall, relax your jaw, deep breath. 1, 2, and little higher. 1, 2, 3. That sound, get lost in it, right? Let's go on to Z, 2, 3. Z, couple more. 1, 2, 3. Z, go to ZR, back to ZR. 2, 3. ZR. Now, as we go up, we're just going to do 2 more, okay? If it gets a little too high, feel free to drop the octave, okay? Let's go up. Z-oo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Z-oo. Nice. Enjoy your sound. And let's go to one more. Nice and loud, Z-ah. Let's really embrace this sound, right? Dropping your jaw, relaxing, comfortable, sitting up nice and tall. Here we go. Last one, Z-ah. 1, 2, 3. Z-ah. Beautiful. Now let's recap. Hopefully during the duration of this lesson, you have been able to make yourself relaxed, more comfortable. Hopefully you are being critical but positive of your voice, right? And if you feel like you've gotten to the end of this lesson and you're like, man, I still didn't get it, it's okay to come back to this video. Try it again. Be critical but positive. You can do this. If you can talk, you can sing. Don't listen to other critics out there who say, you need to sound different. You need to sound like this vocalist or that vocalist. You know what? You don't have to sound like a pop vocalist to be a good vocalist, right? So be positive but critical, and finally, enjoy your sound. And don't give up on that effort. It is possible to enjoy the way that you sound if you're consistent at it, right? So again, I'm Mr. Gawronski. Thank you so much for watching this lesson, and hopefully this has been helpful for you.